Built by the people, for the people. At the University of Waikato, we are visionary pioneers. Founded on innovation and excellence, we are 60 years young and part of an international community doing good for the people and the planet. Breathing life into our mission, Ko Te Tangata, we are boldly forging partnerships internationally and acting locally, connecting people and knowledge with industry for a better world. From our world-class facilities, we are working with industry and business, developing knowledge and technology to support New Zealand to win on the global stage, and helping our communities at home adapt and thrive in a changing world. From our visionary founders and world-leading alumni to our dedicated researchers striving for a fairer world and a cleaner planet, students at the University of Waikato walk in the footsteps of greatness. Ko Te Tangata, we are for the people and we're just getting started.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Good afternoon and welcome to this University of Waikato graduation ceremony. Thank you for coming to celebrate this important occasion with our graduating students. If you'd like to view today's program, please scan the QR code on screen. The ceremony will begin shortly, so please ensure your phones and any other devices are on silent or switched off. In case of an emergency, the exits from the theatre, the two doors you came in and the doors along the side, are all clearly marked. Please be aware these doors are now closed. The ceremony will be approximately 45 minutes long and we ask you remain seated for the duration unless you have an urgent reason. The official party, followed by the graduands for today's ceremony, will soon proceed into the room, and I'll ask you to stand as they enter. At the end of the ceremony, please remain standing to allow the procession of our new graduates out. Thank you. Please enjoy today's proceedings. Please stand.
Haere mai, haere mai, haere mai rā. Nau mai, piki mai, kake mai rā. Takahia te ara, I hangai ai o tātou tūpuna. Ko hikoihia e koutou I tēnei rā. Tēnā koutou, tēnā hoki tātou katoa I roto I tēnei whare. Nā ngā tūpuna I para I te huarahi nei, hei takahi mā koutou. Rātou ko huri tuara, kia mātou, kia tātou, ngā mihi kia rātou katoa. Rātou ko whetūrangitia, tēnei te tuku mihi, kia rātou. Ko koutou, ngā manu, ko kai I te miro, I te kai o te mātauranga. Mā koutou anō, tēnei huarahi e para. Mō ngā tamariki mokopuna e haere ake nei. Nō reira, te whakahōnore I a koutou. I runga I te ingoa o ngā iwi o tēnei rohe. Ngāti ranginui, ngāti pūkenga, ngai te rangi. Te hono atu ki Waikato, I te tākere, o rātou, o tātou mātua, I tēnei wā. Tuku atu ngā mihi ki tō tātou kuini, kia ngā wai hono I te pō, e noho mai rā I te ahurewa tapu. Rire hau. Nō reira, mai mārire, tēnā koutou, nau mai, ki te whakahōnore nui, kia koutou katoa. Kia koutou ngā whānau o ngā hau e whā, tēnā rā koutou katoa. Koutou ngā kaiārahi, ngā rangatira, ngā mihi kia koutou katoa.
Te hei uri, te hei nako kātou. Kātou haha te rangi e tū nei, kātou haha te papa e hora nei. Kātou te mātuku mai rarotonga, koi ai ruku hia manawa pauroto, koi ai ruku hia manawa pauwaho. Whakatīna kia tīna, te more I tipu mai Hawaiki, he pupu ana hoki, he wāwawa ana hoki, tārewa tū ki te rangi aua kia eke tanu kū, kia eke tangaroa, whāno, patua mai te toke, haumi e hui e, tai ki e. No reire runga I ngā tīmatanga kōrero ko ngā patu e huri tonu ki te runga rawa. Nei rā, ona manaakitanga ko tau mai ki rungi a tātou I roto I tēnei painga I tēnei rā. Me whakahonore, me whakakrorea ko tōrengi wā tapu. Nei rā, me mihi atu anō ki tō tātou mokopuna o te motu. Tātou ariki nui a ngā wai hono i te pō, e noho nei raru i te hurewa tapu o ngā mātua o ngā tūpu nei rota i te pare o pōta tau me tōna whānau, me kiake kia rātou, rire rire hau, pai marire kia rātou. Kia kore ware ware hia te wā hingaro. Rātou kuhuri ki tua te kanohi, takahia nei te ara pānui ki tua pai rau, a nei mātou kei muri e mihi nei, e tangi nei, e mihi nei. Nō reira, moi mai koutou ki roto i ngā ringaringa o te atua. A tai rā noa ki tēnei rā, e aku rangatira. Tēnei tā rā mātou ka tai mai ki te whakanui koutou katoa. I roto i ngā painga o ngā tau ki muri, nei rā ko tēnei tā rā, ka whipi e a koutou ngā tohu katoa te ao. Nō reira, ka nui te mihi, ka nui te mihi. Huri no ki o koutou whānau, ngā o mātua, o whaia, ngā tamariki, ngā mokopuna ko tau mai. A ki te whakahōnoro nui i a koutou i tēnei rā. Me mātou katoa i roto i te pare wānanga o Waikato, ki i tauranga mōna. Karanga hia tia nei ana ko ngā iterangi, ko ngā ti pūkenga, ko ngā tirangi nui. E mihi nei ki a koutou i tēnei rā. Huri no ki roto i te pare, ngā tōpito te motu taira no ki tā wahi, nau mai hara mai whakatau mai. I runga, nei rā tā mātou ino i kia koe, nei mihi nei kia koutou. Tēnā koutou, a tēnā koutou. Tō tātou karakia. E tamatau matua nui o te rangi kia tapu anō tu ingoa. Nei rā mātou hoa ponanga, e koropiko a te ane mu e tuaroro i tēnei rā. Nei rā tēnei mātou hui katoa ana i tēnei hui huinga. Ki te whakanui enei o mātou tamariki, ngā akonga, ngā tauira i tēnei rā. Nei rā tā mātou nei kia koe tō wairua tapu ki rungi a mātou e apu i hei manaki. I runga i te matua te tama me tā wairua tapu tūturu whakamaua kia tīna, tīna, haumi e, hui e, tāi ki e, kia ora tātou.
E tamati, tēnā koe, ngai tamaro aho, tēnei te mihi. Good afternoon, everyone. Can I please ask you to remain standing for the singing of the National Anthem? Singing of the National Anthem will be led by soprano Sarah Milam. Sarah is studying towards a Master of Music as part of Te Pai Kokako, the Aotearoa New Zealand Opera Studio at the University of Waikato. The words to the National Anthem can be followed on the screen behind me. And please be seated, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to this graduation ceremony for Te Wānanga Waiora, the Division of Health, and Te Wānanga Pūtaiao, the Division of STEM. My name is Neil Quigley, I'm the Vice Chancellor of the University of Waikato. I'd like to begin by thanking all of you, graduands, your family, friends and supporters for taking the time to celebrate with the university staff and others from the Bay of Plenty community the important element that is your graduation. This is a time to reflect on the learning and the personal growth you have achieved in completing your qualification, to give thanks for the opportunities you've had to meet students from a diverse range of backgrounds and to spend time with the friends you've made while studying at the University of Waikato. It is my pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of the University. The Chancellor has the role of chairing the University Council, which is the governance body of the university. And in that capacity today, it is her role to confer the certificates, diplomas and degrees on all of the graduates of the university. Will you please welcome to the podium the Chancellor of the University of Waikato, Susan Hassel.
Ti he Māori ora, ki te whaiao, ki te ao marama, e nā mātawaka, e nā hau e whā. No mai, haere mai, ki tēnei kaupapa whakahira o te rā. No mai, haere mai, whakatau mai, tēnā koutou katoa. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a genuine pleasure to have this opportunity both to speak briefly on behalf of the university staff and my fellow council members at this very special occasion, and also to have the opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you here this afternoon as we share your celebration of achievement and success at this graduation ceremony. I would like to recognise our Pro-Chancellor who's here this afternoon, the Honourable Te Urara Flavel, who is joining me on stage as representative of our council. And I also recognise the graduate representative who is going to be our speaker this afternoon, Amanda Lowry, and I welcome her and all members of our council who are here today. As we share this wonderful occasion, we must reflect upon its significance to our graduates and for each one of us who's here today, because we love these people who are sitting on my right. And we meet today to celebrate here in our Tauranga campus, which is symbolic that we do so, that you are able to graduate here, where you studied together and spent time together, where this has been a part of your world, where you have stood on this land and studied in this space, where you've achieved your goals. This is a building in which you have realised your dream through your own hard work and commitment and through the support of the people who are seated with you this afternoon. And so we recognise that this is a special moment in your journey through life. The campus is a world which sits at the heart of this beautiful city and fittingly sits at the heart of Tauranga. And so today you sit at the heart of Tauranga as you complete this stage of your journey here in this space with us. This is your space, and we experience this rite of passage with you and with those you love, because you are the heart of our world. Our students are our centre. Our staff today are dressed traditionally, and I am dressed in a traditional gown, and we are here today to recognise the significance of your occasion. We dress this way to honour you, to honour each and every one of you as you graduate. And it is symbolic that we wear these clothes to recognise your wonderful achievement. So today is special and wonderful. It's a genuine celebration of your success and of the time you've shared. It's also a time to reflect for a moment as you recognise the ending of this part of your journey and as you look forward to what the future will bring. It's a time as you celebrate a milestone to consider what matters most to you as you begin the next stage of your future. And I'd like to quote a very wise person, Marcus Aurelius, who provided some very wise advice in the 2nd century, almost 2,000 years ago to the year, when he advised us to accept those things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, and do so with all of your heart. It's a very well-known story. I know you'll know the story. I'd like to remind you of it this afternoon about a traveller who came across a farmer working beside the road, and he asked the farmer, what sort of people live in the next town? And the farmer responded with a question of his own, well, what were the people like in the town that you've just left, where you've come from? And the traveller said they were a horrible lot. They were lazy, they were selfish, they were untrustworthy. And so said the farmer, well, I'm afraid you'll find those in the next town exactly the same. And then later that day, another traveller came from the same direction as the first, and he too asked the question, what sort of people live in the next town? And again the farmer replied with a question about those who'd been in the town before, the town he'd just left. And this time, the second traveller said, they're the best people I've ever known. They're most honest, they're so friendly, they're so kind. And the farmer said, well, the people that you meet in the next town are going to be exactly the same. It's what we bring to each world that we're part of that defines how we find it. In the second part of Aurelius's quote, he advises us to love the people with whom fate brings us together. And I hope that this has been your experience at our university, that you've felt a sense of belonging and connection through your time here. It's always so important to remember that an essential part of fulfillment for us as humans is to give to something larger than ourselves, to gain happiness from what Mother Teresa always described as small acts done with great love. And his final piece of advice from Marcus Aurelius, so important if you want your journey through life to be like that second traveller, is to do so with all of your heart. It's so important that our commitment to the world around us is complete. We must live the lives that we have been gifted with all of our hearts. We must live our life with courage, and most importantly, we should live our life with love. And that in itself brings that genuine sense of belonging. And it's in belonging that you grow to be connected and attached to life. In the end, it's always in this that each of us finds our strength and our happiness. So accept those things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, and do so with all of your heart. It's wise advice for a person who spoke to us from 2,000 years in our past. So today, my message to you, my final advice as you realise the end of this part of your journey, is nothing matters more than the people with whom you share your life and the experiences you have together. Nothing matters more than the place upon which you stand together, and most importantly, nothing ever matters more in our lives than love. I'd like to finish with a Gaelic blessing from my own background. I come from Scotland, and a Gaelic blessing that my grandmother used to say in Gaelic. I won't say it in Gaelic to you this afternoon because I want you to understand what it means. So in English, may God's blessing follow you all as you begin your new journey in life. May you walk safely along the paths of your dreams. May your hearts reflect always the love and the truth that we share in our world today. And may hope be a light within you that you carry with you forever. Aroha nui. Ngā mihi atu, tēnā koutou katoa.
The Chancellor will now officially confer the degrees, diplomas and certificates on the graduates here today and those listed in the schedule but not in attendance. Graduates, will you all please stand now?
I, Susan Hassel, Chancellor of the University of Waikato, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do now confer the degrees and award the diplomas and certificates to the candidates here today and those listed in the schedule but not in attendance. Congratulations. As graduates of the University of Waikato, you may now put on your bonnets or trenchers.
Graduates, please be seated. Each graduate will now be called to the front of the theatre individually to be congratulated and to receive their certificates. We begin this process with the Doctor of Philosophy graduates. Chancellor, I have the honour to present the graduates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Will the graduates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please come forward? Akuhata Patrick Stephen Bailey Winiata. Dr. Bailey Winiata's thesis explores how Māori knowledge systems and Te Tiriti-centric partnerships can reshape climate change adaptation. Dr. Bailey Winiata was also awarded the Koko Kairangi Best Thesis Prize. Chancellor, I present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Akuhata Patrick Stephen Bailey Winiata. Saeed Ismail Nia. Dr. Nia's thesis explores how everyday cell phone signals can be used to measure rainfall, providing a cost-effective way to monitor rainfall and water flow. Chancellor, I present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Saeed Ismail Nia. Amanda Lowry. Dr. Lowry's thesis examines the welfare and care experiences of highly impaired athletes in high-performance disability sport. Chancellor, I present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Amanda Lowry. Megan Pariue Ranapia. Dr. Ranapia's thesis focuses on co-developing a management action plan with local iwi to address a sea star outbreak in Ohiwa Harbour. Chancellor, I present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Megan Pariue Ranapia. We now move on to the candidates from Te Wānanga Waiora, the Division of Health. Chancellor, I have the honour to present the graduates from Te Wānanga Waiora, the Division of Health. Certificates will be presented by Associate Professor Kim Hibert-Lossier.
Will the graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Health, Sport and Human Performance please come forward? Ruby Elizabeth Barnes. Danielle Afina Brown. feel special. Nate Ehrlich Kaplan. Adrian Harrison Sutherland Caverhill. Minnie Kate Davies. Matthew Gordon Gronwald. Joanna Elizabeth Harrison. Also awarded Graduate Diploma in Teaching, Todd Martin Herbert. Lara Martine Marsh. Sean Peter Nicholson. Aisha Smank. Kayla Marie Steele. Tegan Manaya Carol Tapa. Alexandra Grace Vanstone. Maya Te Aranga Mary Wilson. Will the graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Sport and Human Performance please come forward? Julie May Allen. Emma Allison Susan Bailey. Kyla Rangitukunoa Bedwa. Cohen Grant Bigham. Ryan Ngahuia Cooper. Thomas David Page. Will the graduate for the postgraduate diploma of Health Science please come forward? Ashley Helen Simons. Chancellor.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the graduates from Te Wānanga Pūtaiao, the Division of STEM. The certificates will be presented by the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the Division, Professor Paul Kench. It's my pleasure to welcome Professor Kench to his first graduation ceremony at the University of Waikato.
Will the graduate for the degree of Master of Engineering please come forward? Jani Kushalya Chaturangani Lianage Dona. Will the graduates for the degree of Master of Science Research please come forward? Juliette Lang Linsmeyer. Thomas Scott Simmons. Elizabeth Margaret Ann Thompson. Caitlin Ashley Thompson. Will the graduate for the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours please come forward? Nathan Leslie Shakes. Will the graduate for the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours please come forward? Shay Louise Wolford. Will the graduate for the degree of Bachelor of Computer Science please come forward? Logan Barry Peck. Chancellor.
It's now my pleasure to welcome our graduate speaker for this ceremony, Amanda Lowry. Amanda has graduated today with a Doctor of Philosophy in Sport and Human Movement. Amanda is passionate about advocacy, empowerment and community development. Over the past 10 years, she's been part of organisations driving change. An athlete, advocate and scholar, she's spent years working across the disability sector, shaping policy, advising councils and backing community-led change. Sport has remained central. She plays wheelchair rugby for the Bay of Plenty Steamrollers and competed internationally in swimming, pushing against a high-performance system that was never designed for bodies like hers. That friction became the foundation of her PhD, which centres the embodiment of experiences of highly impaired athletes, exposing the hidden labour of care and the limits of systems not built with them in mind. Will everyone please welcome, to give the graduate address, Amanda Lowry.
So, kia ora koutou, and ngā mihi Chancellor Susan Hassel and Vice-Chancellor Neil Quigley for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the graduating students. So I'd like to welcome you all here to this fabulous celebration of all our graduates. As our friends in whānau know, we have put our blood, sweat and tears into this work. We have sacrificed things that we love in order to attain these academic merits, but we are here, our supporters are here, and ka pai te mahi, well done to you all. So when I first handed in my thesis, I spoke to my friends saying it was like breaking up from an abusive relationship. That without thesis, and then you go insert bad relationship name here, I could breathe again. I could find out who I was without them, reconnect with my whānau. So when I went up in my ivory tower, I had a beautiful little 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. And then when I came down, they were 13 and 16. And I looked at them lovingly and said, "Hello, my beautiful children, I'm back, your beautiful mum is back." And they looked at me and went, "Oh, it's you, we've grown up. You didn't notice, we don't need you anymore." Like heart crushed, you know, that moment. And then thesis had consumed me, but not in a sexy vampire way. They'd kept me up to midnight erasing unnecessary adjectives and wondering while brushing my teeth that perhaps paragraph 3 should go before paragraph 2. And then why did I decide in the last week of handing in that perhaps I should rewrite chapter 4, right? And so as I exited the tower with no muscle tone and skin like a jaundiced grandma, I realised, like you have, that the answers to these questions don't matter. What matters is that we are here. It matters that what we've learnt from our study And the biggest thing, is what matters, is what the world will learn from us. So as I noted in my introduction, my work is grounded in the experiences of those with higher levels of impairment and high performance sport. So I've only got 14% function, like I'm paralysed from my necklace down. And when I started competing, my times put me like top 10 in the world. But when I rocked up to Paralympics, like PNZ, they didn't know what to do with me because they're like used to Sophie Pascoe and she's only missing a foot, right? I'm like, this is disability, whānau, this is proper disability, right? So I'm like heavily reliant on care. I need help in the morning to get dressed, to go wharipaku, to shower, to get into my togs. I'm like hoisted in and out of a pool. Like, why would anyone choose to be a swimmer, you ask yourself? However, there are other athletes in multiple sports across Aotearoa that are invisible in the literature. So my work is grounded on bodies that need bodies, and that is bodies that need care to participate in everyday life, and how that is intensified with our participation in sport. And that kind of just highlights how the interdependence we have with support workers, that's what freedom looks like for us. So I was always going to do a PhD, but I broke my neck like 2 years after I handed in my master's. And it took me 9 years how to figure out how to be in this crazy new body with a young whānau. And then I thought, let's go back to study, right? But that return was not simple. I couldn't just put my hands on the keyboard because my hands don't work anymore. I had to learn how to write using my voice, much to the dismay of my supervisors, because one of us likes to talk a lot. So there was a lot of learning involved, right? And sometimes that tech didn't work either, and accessing help wasn't easy. So we always talk about inclusion as though it is already happening, like access is a given. But I found out firsthand that those barriers are not just physical, they're built into systems and into processes and into the ableist thinking that still underpins academia. And that determines who gets to be visible, who gets to participate, and who gets to be heard. So from that perspective, every aspect of my study, my being here isn't just personal, it's political. So all of us move through the world differently. I recognise that. Our experiences are shaped by gender, by sexuality, by ethnicity, age or class. And none of us are untouched by those barriers. But those barriers are built, which means they can be dismantled. And that's where you guys all come in. And this university was founded on equity, creating opportunities for our communities. And the community isn't something abstract. It's all of us sitting here today. So as you step out into the world, into health, education, business, policy, sport, I want you to take that with you as a responsibility. I want you to continually question and take notice about who is missing. I want you to work to open doors for those who are underrepresented and recognise like our collective power, because we are smart people in here. And we've got to look at how interdependence, like between us all, enables freedom. So let's celebrate your achievement. You have earned it, but know what you do next matters. So go out there and change the world. So tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa whānau.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you to all of our graduates, your family members, friends and supporters who've attended this afternoon's graduation ceremony. Today, graduates, you have been admitted to the community of scholars at this university. And though you may have completed your formal association with the university as a student, you are warmly welcomed as a member of the University of Waikato's alumni community. We look forward to staying in touch with you and hearing of your future success. That brings us to the end of this graduation ceremony. Would everyone please stand as the academic staff and our graduates exit the theatre. Thank you.